a job. We need a high-paying job.
Well, now we're too hot to work anywhere in this country.
Where are we going?
The art of stealing art may have taken Ocean's 12 across some of Europe's most scenic venues,
Diversion.
or drawn Thomas Crown to New York's Metropolitan Museum of Art.
Over here in this room, you can take $100 million off the wall and waltz right out the front door. Oh, that's good.
Oh, yes.
Oh no! When it comes to Hollywood films about art theft, art rarely imitates life. There are no Pierce Brosnans in sharp suits lifting Monets from the mat with stunning art investigators on their tails, nor George Clooney or Brad Pitt lookalikes plotting audacious heists. In fact, the reality of art theft is far less glamorous, hardly romantic, and definitely not sexy. Here's what a real art thief looks like in action. Security footage provided by Scotland Yard shows a man breaking into an art gallery in London and taking off with 2 Damien Hirst paintings worth a total of £33,000, or about $54,000. Though a successful heist, it didn't seem so well planned nor quite so elegantly executed.
Well, this is a common misconception that there's some gangs of thieves, sort of suave, debonair art collectors out there. But the people that steal art are nothing more than common thugs.
Residential burglary is the largest source of art theft in the United States. These aren't specialists. These are people who are looking for silver, jewelry, money, electronic equipment, and if there's artwork on the wall, they'll take that too.
Art theft, more often than not, is a crime of opportunity, committed by garden variety crooks. But it is a crime that the FBI says accounts for $4 to $6 billion a year. And on the rare occasion when it draws widespread and international attention, it involves either a well-known location or famous works of art. In Europe, perhaps the most famous art theft occurred over a century ago, when the famous Louvre Museum in Paris had little to smile about after its Mona Lisa went missing. 1976, 118 works by Pablo Picasso were snatched from the Palais des Papes in Avignon, France. 2010, 5 paintings worth about 100 million euros, or 123 million US dollars, disappeared from the City of Paris Museum of Modern Art. 2012, thieves broke into the Kunsthal Museum in the Netherlands and took off with 7 paintings, including works by Monet, Picasso, Gauguin, and Matisse. But in the United States, the one big heist that continues to baffle authorities and bewilder the public is the one that took place at the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum in Boston 24 years ago.
What we call the Holy Grail in the United States is the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. It happened in 1990, so we're talking about a significant period of time. We're talking about some of the finest art that's out there. And to have that missing so long with really little or no clues is mystifying.
Art can disappear for a very long time. And that's actually borne out in many other art theft cases as well. Things go missing and they might not turn up for an entire generation. In this particular case, these objects, these paintings and other objects are very, very well publicized. They cannot be sold on the open market. So they are someplace, they are in storage someplace, hopefully safely, and that someday we will in fact recover them.
At the FBI headquarters in Washington, D.C., Bonnie Magnus Gardner leads a team of 15 special agents who investigate art and antiquities that have either been stolen from museums or have crossed state lines.
So if something is stolen from a collection or from a private gallery or a dealer, that is a matter for the local police. They will be the first responder. They will take a theft report for whatever is stolen and try to do some immediate assistance and immediate investigations. Now, if the stolen art crosses state lines, that's where the FBI investigation comes in.
One of the main challenges in prosecuting traffickers is in determining whether they knew they were handling stolen items.
We are really looking at the people who traffic in stolen property, but when we find it, and we find it in the possession of a person, in order to prosecute that person in a criminal investigation, that person would have to know that the object is in fact stolen. If that is a good faith purchaser and somebody who is unknowingly handling stolen art, then we can recover that art, but we will not prosecute the person who has it in their possession.
The FBI art theft program works very closely with another U.S. agency, the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Homeland Security Investigations Unit, seen here returning recovered artifacts to the government of Peru. The HSI has the authority to lead investigations involving the illicit importing and distributing of art and antiquities, and can seize items brought illegally into the U.S. from anywhere in the world, which happens more often than you might think. New York City, heart of America's thriving art market and home to world-class museums, auction houses, and art galleries. So when the FBI says that art stolen around the world often ends up in America's market for art and cultural property, it's hardly surprising. Stolen art is often identified when it re-enters the marketplace. Philadelphia attorney Robert Goldman is a former federal prosecutor who helped set up the FBI art theft program and served as its legal advisor.
A lot of times stolen art turns back up after 25 years or 30 years. Now why is that? Person who has it, that bought it, either knowing it was stolen or not knowing it was stolen, dies, and the family goes to an auction house, sells it, and then, it's discovered to have been stolen.
Chris Marinello specializes in recovering stolen art and runs the Art Loss Register in London, one of the world's largest private databases of lost and stolen art. It is used by collectors, art traders, insurers, and worldwide law enforcement agencies.
Art is either recovered very quickly after the theft, or it could go underground for 10 years, 2 decades or more. And once you get into that long period of time, witnesses disappear, documents disappear, insurance companies delete their records, even police forces will delete their records.
The Art Loss Register and the records it maintains have been instrumental in the recovery of over $320 million worth of stolen items, according to its website.
If they steal something in South Africa, they're not going to be able to sell it in the States. We're going to find it. If they steal something from the States and try to move it to Asia, we're going to try to find it. So by making the world smaller, and the internet and the media are actually helping us do this, it's a lot easier now to be able to find something that was stolen, just a couple of days ago, halfway across the world.
European museums may tempt art thugs, and American collections may lure burglars, but nations fall victim to, and in different ways.
South America is very different from Asia. It's a poorer community, and we're seeing security suffer. People are breaking into churches and stealing priceless religious works of art, and people are looting from some very important cultural heritage sites in these areas and passing them off through the United States or in Europe. In Asia, it's a different situation altogether. They're not as familiar with a central database of stolen art. They don't check as often. They're just learning that due diligence is part of the art buying process. These are countries that have come into money quickly, and they're accumulating quickly. They know what they want. They see amazing prices from their point of view for Eastern art here in the West, and they're taking advantage of that, and they're spending their money around. But they're not using due diligence before they buy.
But they are starting to. Around the world, law enforcement agencies are sharing information with each other and with the public. The art world is keeping closer tabs on stolen works, and people are communicating online.
Because everything's online now, press accounts are online, there are blogs, people talk about this in cultural property blogs. So there is a lot of discussion, and there's a lot of ability for people to see and to understand what's going on.
One dealer or one collector might say, I know this guy's got a piece that's stolen and he shouldn't have it, and they provide that information because, frankly, they're happy to do away with their competition.
I get more tips now than ever before from museum lovers and art lovers all over the world saying, look, I think I saw this, in a particular museum, or somebody's offered this to me for sale. Our goal of getting the marketplace to check before they buy is having an impact.
The impact goes beyond helping authorities prosecute thieves and recover stolen art. It also serves as a deterrent because getting the word out on art theft makes stolen items too well known to sell without getting caught, making art theft a crime that literally doesn't pay.